Everybody Hates Rand is a Wheel of Time podcast that will contain spoilers for all 14 books. So if you're anti-spoiler, pause this, read all 14 books, and come back. We'll be here, waiting.
Our title is a joke and is meant to be taken as such. In the context of this podcast, everybody refers to us and our cat. You are free to feel however you want about Rand, who is a fictional character. Don't DM us.
The world is a mess, Dark One stretching out his hand. The dragon's reborn, the fire's been fanned, but everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand.
I'm gonna turn my hat around so we match.
Oh, so we're both backwards.
Yeah, you look a lot cuter in backwards hats than I do.
This isn't a style thing. It's a, it helps mold my hair the way I need it to be. My hair's in a weird stage right now.
Of its right now.
Life. Well, you wouldn't like it when I just come out of the shower and that looks pretty wild.
You didn't have to take your hat off. I'm sorry. Did bring attention to it.
I wanted to.
I just think you look very nice in backwards hats.
Thanks.
I feel like I look like a small child.
No, you don't.
I do. Just sort of in general.
No, you don't.
But that's okay.
Talking about?
Sort of just built like a toddler.
No,
a Dynamaxed toddler.
I'm gonna lose
This is a nice Pokemon reference, right? Dynamax.
I don't know enough about Pokemon.
Harry and Ian were playing it. Yep, these are my brothers. We're playing it yesterday.
We're playing it yesterday? Like the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Harry brought his Switch over.
Of course.
Classic. Naturally.
Naturally.
And they were like doing fights together, and all of a sudden Ian's Pokemon got fucking gigantic, and I was like, what did you just do to your Jane Simmons Badger? And he was like, I Dynamaxed him. And I was like,
Dynamaxed him? What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't understand Pokemon.
I don't either.
Like, I understand it. I just don't understand the new Pokemons, like Pokemon Go.
I didn't even understand the old one, so.
Like the old one.
This is Everybody Hates Rand, your friendly neighborhood Wheel of Time podcast. It's the day after American Thanksgiving. It's fucking snowing. We're going on a cruise in 0.48 hours.
I have to do probably 24 hours of work before we get to go on that cruise.
I'm very upset by
That
that.
suck. I work too much.
I know you do.
It's a problem.
Let me know if I can do anything to help.
Do you want to write a grant for me? About birds flying into buildings and killing themselves due to light pollution? And how I need to educate the populace, particularly children, against this type of light pollution in order to better create environmentally friendly bird habitats.
See, I could write that, but I'm worried it would not be up to your standards.
I do have extremely high standards. It's
yeah,
a problem.
exactly.
On everything, which is why I should not get on dating apps. Okay, that's Emily. I'm Sally. This is our cat Tibble. He's perched on the kitchen counter like a gargoyle.
Right above my head.
Just
really
sort of softly
creepy.
mewing.
Yeah, it's really upsetting. Hello? Are you okay? You've been weird.
I think the snow's freaking him out.
He just stuck his face in my hand. Yeah, he has been.
Also, this morning, of course,
Are you like that?
it was immediately to biting.
Yeah.
Did I tell you?
This morning what?
Oh, this morning he was, like, losing it.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was up at, like, 6:30 trying to decide if I wanted to go to work or not.
Right.
But so I still had my lights off, and I was just, like, staring out the window. And I think Tybalt's like, this is the end.
Existential dread.
Yeah.
He's like,
it's the end of all time.
oh man.
Hey, handsome.
Well, you got a fucking teardrop right there.
I was crying.
Guys,
Guys, Tybalt and I had the fucking best Thanksgiving nap yesterday. I
I'm
cannot
really jealous about that.
put into words
While
what
I
a
was
good
being
nap
forced to watch The Mandalorian, Sally and Tybalt were having a fucking lovely nap.
It was awesome. It was like an hour and 45 minutes, which was like perfect holiday nap length.
Were you on the couch?
Oh yeah, we were on the couch.
Okay, good. Yeah,
I love
couch naps
sleeping on couches.
Couch naps feel a lot less lazy than bed naps.
Well, and I was reading and I started to get drowsy and I was fighting it, but then I was like, I don't need to fight it. It's Thanksgiving.
Were you reading C.S. Lewis?
I was reading C.S. Lewis.
Big C.S. Lewis vibe.
It was a really
Why are you
lovely...
wet?
He's always wet.
Why?
He's literally always
The top of his
wet.
head is just so wet.
I couldn't tell.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, this is our Ding Dong podcast. I didn't read the chapters.
That's okay because... Go away. I'm gonna spank you.
You're such a turd. Get out here, turd.
Don't mess with the garbage can. There's no... It's not fun. Okay, yeah, this is a fucking... Ding Dong podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Chapters.
34 and 35.
I'm so amazed every time how you just know the numbers. Every time I write up the, like, little synopsis of the episode, I literally have to look it up every single time.
Okay.
And you're never in the room where I would just ask.
You can always text me.
I know.
It would probably be a delayed
Yeah, I
response.
need to know right then. Hey! Oh, fine, that's
He's got
food.
one
You
piece
can-
of
you can't-
kibble that
no.
he's going to eat.
Okay.
Okay, we're in not parents' point of view.
Yeah, thank fuck we are no longer in parents' point of view. Now we're in Rand's point of view, which is almost as bad.
Almost.
But at
Fine
least, you
fucking
know,
line.
it's like not terrible, this particular chapter. I mean, it's got the whole, like, they reveal his parentage, which is kind of like blah, but, you know, at least there's not too many, like, women of marriageable age around for him to condescend to.
Christ.
No, we pick up with Rand and Matt getting back from Rhuidean, which is a very jarring experience because we've just spent literally 98 chapters in Perrin's point of view, and given, like, what happened with Perrin was only a few days. Mm-hmm. Maybe, like, a week at most if you count the ways, but still, it's, like, weird to, like, this chapter feels like it should have followed the last Rand.
Yeah, it feels very weird to have cut off here as opposed to after this chapter.
I feel like an editor was like, Robert, no one's gonna fucking read the Perrin points of view unless you give them no choice.
Yeah.
But to, like, get through them to get back to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's Rand and Matt just hiking back up. Rand is just, like, thinking about how fucked up everything is. Mm-hmm. He comments that Matt is not complaining, which is a sign that he is in actual pain. Yeah. There are some iconic Matt like lines about Matt in this chapter. He says he's a great complainer at small discomforts, so the fact that he's silent is worrisome.
Upsetting, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just shambling along.
Poor baby.
I know, they're both covered in blood. Both look like they came from a Quentin Tarantino film.
Gross.
I know.
Did you eat your one piece of kibble?
Gnarly. And they're, like, trying to beat the sunrise. So he comes with the dawn. Get it? If it was he who comes with the dawn, it was, like, sex coming.
Unfortunately, that's what I think about every time I hear that title because I'm a 12-year-old boy. But
I'm just saying.
It's really funny.
They're like, he, like, comes back, you know, like, afternoon time, and they're like, oh, you can't fucking be in the prophecy, but then, like, next morning or whatever.
Having sex.
Right
as dawn breaks.
They're like, oh. Well, that one other person, unless there's...
It's like, oh.
Unless Rand has an exhibitionist streak.
Maybe he does. I wouldn't be surprised.
I know.
No, he's too full of shame.
That's true, yeah. Rand has lots of weird kinks, but...
We'll never explore them.
Yeah, but we never get to explore them.
Thank God, honestly.
We're repressed. Yeah,
I would not want to read Rand's kinky sex scenes in detail.
I don't want to read any kinky sex scenes in the Wheel of Time in detail. I don't think they'd be done well.
Nope.
Anyway, they are kind of coming uphill when suddenly Couladin comes out with some of his dudes, and they're like, what the fuck? What's his name? Couladin's brother? Muradin. How do you know that?
Because I'm amazing.
You are amazing. You're also
I just read
scrolling
the synopsis on Wiki. I was scrolling through Twitter because I had a notification and it really bothers me. But then I saw someone that I really admired, like one of my retweets, and then I felt validated, and then it was a good moment, and now we're back.
Okay. Thanks for the recap.
You're welcome.
So Couladin's like, did you fucking murder my brother? And Rand has a flashback to seeing Muradin clawing his own eyes out, and he's like, no.
Turns out the weight of the past murdered your brother.
Yeah, it turns out cultural trauma, or whatever, murdered your brother, being lied to for generations upon generations.
They'll get you in the end.
Yeah, so they're like...
What? Such a weird episode already.
I know.
Okay.
Don't
Murden.
Energy. You're like, did you murder Rhuidean? Rand's like, no, I didn't. And Couladin's like, I don't care, I'm gonna shish kebab you anyway. And a bunch of people throw spears at them, and Rand gets out his little fire sword, and Matt's got his Odin spear, and they knock it away. And there's some Taviran stuff where they all form a perfect circle, all the spears. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeet. Cool, I guess. Table, shut up.
Hi, baby. Would you like some scritches?
And Couladin's like, see, you have weapons. You broke the rules of Rhuidean by going into Rhuidean armed. And then Bear, fucking powerhouse. Is her name Bear? Yeah.
I've always pronounced it Bear.
Yeah. I just...
Probably Baira or whatever.
Bair.
In Robert Jordan language.
Bear.
Bear.
Bear fits her.
She's a legend.
She's it, like, didn't occur to me that it sounded like an animal, except I was looking at your hat, which has a little wiener dog on it.
She definitely does.
I was like, oh, Bear. Anyway, she comes sprinting down the slope and is like, no spears, don't murder each other, stop it. And is like, fuck off, Couladin, get fucking lost.
Pretty much. And
then Tarantino and Matt is like, so... please don't. She's like, Matt, did you actually find that in Rhuidean? And he's like, boy, did you find that in Rhuidean? And he's like, it was given to me, old lady, and I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeet, I respect you.
There's a lot of different uses of yeet in
I'm
this.
sorry.
I really like it. No, I really like it. Please continue.
Yeet is just a punctuation for me. But she's like, you gotta show them the signs to Rand. And he's like, oh yeah, I got a tattoo now. Because, I don't know, why aren't they're like hiking through the desert. Why aren't they wearing short sleeves or whatever? But he like rolls his sleeves up and he's like, oh look, I got the dragon, sparkly dragon tattoo.
Isn't that so weird?
What?
That sparkles. It's like actual scales.
I know that it's like shiny.
Yeah.
Like you can't get actual iridescent tattoos, can you?
I don't know.
I don't either. Also, wouldn't his arms hurt?
Yeah, I imagine. And also, like, I guess they're magic tattoos or whatever, but, like, shouldn't they be, like, scabbing?
Yeah, I mean, like, they're not actual tattoos, because we don't know. Tibble!
It's time to imprison our stupid cat.
Stop trying to go in the closet.
Oh, you can get iridescent tattoos.
Oh, you can?
Most of these look like they're temporary, but some of them look...
Rand has temporary tattoos.
Team Bride.
Teen Pride.
Team Bride.
Team Bride.
Do you have Teen Pride?
I'm proud to be a teen.
I certainly was not proud.
Yeah, no one is actually proud to be a teen, unless there's something seriously wrong.
I can't figure out if these are all temporary or some of them are the real deal.
The aesthetic is really cool, you know, having shiny tattoos, but...
I bet Rand's arms look like mermaids.
You're right.
If they're shiny scales.
She looks like he has fish arms.
Got little mermaid arms. Anyway, they're like, no. Shows the other side.
Shows the other side, and he's like, what? And he's like, what? And Bear's like, your other sleeve, goddamn you.
Stupid fucker.
I know, she's like, you're so fucking dumb. So then he shows both arms, and is kind of expecting everyone to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
And like, you know, bow down before him. Like Simba on Pride Rock or whatever. Mm-hmm. But now everyone kind of regards him silently and then turns around and goes back to their tents because they're like, nah, fuck this.
They're like, I can't.
The Aiel are so legendary.
I'm at capacity at the moment.
Yeah. Bear, meanwhile, like, yeeted the water pouch to Matt, and he suddenly realizes he's holding it and upends half the thing on his head. And is like, okay, well, that was weird. And all the other wise ones arrive, along with Lan and Rhuarc. And they have kind of a brief convo about what's going down. Rand's like, where's Moiraine? And they're like, oh, she went to... Oh my god,
It's like Tibble has been possessed. I hate him. He's been so annoying the past couple days.
We'll start missing him, like, day 2 into our trip, but...
And then we'll come back and be like, why?
Be like, why did we do...
Why did I have
He's the
feelings for
fucking
you
worst.
for this demonic creature?
But they're like, oh yeah, Moiraine and Aviendha both went into Rhuidean. And Matt's like, I fucking told you Aviendha went into Rhuidean naked, Rand.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, oh, okay. And Matt's like, you're not impressed enough by this. What is he? He's literally just flinging himself against the door. He's so stupid. If you hear a distant thudding in the background, that's Tybalt
Flagellating himself against the door.
trying so fucking desperately to escape. And it's like, what? I think he probably just has his little catnip toy in there.
Probably. I think he's got both his catnip toys
God.
in there. So he's going to come out very silly.
Oh, I just see him. You're fine. Stop it. Oh, I just took his fish. Okay.
He's so annoying. Today one of my coworkers called weed the devil's lettuce, and I've never heard...
Called what? Weed? The devil's lettuce?
I've never heard that before.
The devil's lettuce.
Yeah.
The devil makes a salad with...
Well, he was talking about how he can't go to Utah Valley without being high.
I mean, big mood.
It was very funny.
Big fucking mood. Utah Valley is...
The fucking worst.
I know, it's where dreams go to die.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, so everyone's like, yeah, they went to Rhuidean, and Rand's like, Anna Dwayne mentions, like, it's been a while, and Rand's like, how long's it been? And she's like, oh, you've been gone 7 days. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
The fucking Forsaken could have done so much in 7 days. And it's like, calm your tits, Rand. Like, what? He's always so fucking stressed about the Forsaken, and it's like, the Forsaken are goddamn idiots.
They are very stupid.
They're so... They've literally done nothing to make you afraid of them in the last 3.5 books. Lanfear was like, hey, look, I'm sexy. If you had a brain, that's pretty easy to resist, given you're not the smartest and you think with your dick, but...
How would we map on our 3 boys to the 3 companions from the Wizard of Oz?
How would we what?
Map the 3 boys.
Oh, you're saying
if I
because
had
Rand's
a brain.
brainless? Yeah. If I had courage and if I had
A heart?
a heart? I wanna have Rand be the one who doesn't have a heart.
Yeah.
Perrin B have no brain, and Matt B have no courage because he says he has no courage.
Yeah, Maz also sometimes has no brain.
Matt, yeah, they're all...
They're all very stupid.
They've got one brain cell between them all.
Okay.
And usually Matt has it, but...
Usually. So, Rand is no heart, Perrin is no brain, and Matt is no courage.
Yeah.
So he claims.
Cowardly. Well, yeah, that's the whole point of the dang Wizard of Oz. Is
Yeah.
they're like, I don't have a brain, but really he's the tactician. The Scarecrow is the fucking tactician amongst them.
Unit.
Love that
And
Scarecrow.
the heart is the Tin Man?
Yeah.
Or the brain is the Tin Man?
Heart's the Tin Man.
And courage is the cowardly lion.
Yep.
Courage the cowardly dog. Show fucking scared the shit out of me as a kid.
It did it?
Yes.
I've never seen an episode, I don't
Oh my
think.
God, they're horrifying.
I was obsessed with the Wizard of Oz movie as a child. So then the wise ones were like, come talk to us in the tent, Rand, and we'll kind of, heal you guys up. And Rand's like, can you use the fucking power to heal us? And they're like, no, because for plot reasons, we do not have that particular power. And he's like, and everybody's like, show some respect, Rand. And he's like, fuck off. Anyway, then they go to the tent, and they're like, well, Lan and Rhuarc can't come. It's just wise ones, because we got to talk about Rhuidean. And he's like, no, I want them to come, because I only feel secure when I have 2 very tall men also with me. And they're like, first of all, that's reasonable, but also it's tradition. And he's like, I'm literally the guy in the prophecy who's going to, like, break all your traditions. So let's start with this one here. They're like, can't argue with that, my good bro. And then they all go into the tent, and Rand's like, so does everyone see that, Rhuarc? And then Rhuarc tells him that actually everyone sees something like, that it's your ancestral line, not Rand's ancestral line, so everyone technically does see different things.
Okay.
Up until he said everyone pretty much sees the same thing at the Rhuidean water, the first scene Rand saw. So I guess everyone is kind of descended from that one motherfucker. But I guess he had lots of ancestors. So we find that out, and then Rand's like, so from the prophecy that I'm gonna, like, break you or whatever, do you all know what that means? And they're like, nah, we don't fucking know what that means. We're gonna find out, though.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're in the tent, and they smear some ointments on Matt and Rand.
Poor Matt.
I know, poor Matt. Immediately endears himself to all the wise ones, I guess. I'm making some medical jokes.
Yeah. Old ladies just love Matt.
Old ladies, I'm telling you, Matt has big old lady energy.
It's true, he is an old lady. He's got big, dumb lesbian energy and big old lady energy.
Yeah, big old dumb lesbian energy. Matt is like an old lesbian who just sits on her porch and kind of like...
gambles.
Yeah, he's constantly gambling with her book club friends. They call it a book club, but really it's poker.
Yeah.
And they yell at the neighborhood kids, but, like, in a nice way.
You look great today!
You look great today, Timmy! Go practice your violin! Or whatever. Yeah, that's Matt. So yeah, he gets right along with his best friends, the wise ones.
Such a stupid idiot.
I know. And then Rand's like, so what do you know? Like, did you know my mom? To Amice, whatever the fuck her name is. And she's like, yeah, I knew your mom. Her name was Shale. She was this rando lady that we the maidens found, kind of close to the mountains. Like a wetlander, which in my head I always want to translate to European.
Found some fucking European in the desert.
Found this European lady. She's got all her, like, pack horses and things, and everything dies, and they're all just, like, following her to see what happens, until finally she faints, and they're like, okay, have some water. Oh my god, my sister's calling me. Oh yeah. So they're like, yeah, then we saved your dumb European mom, and she was like, I've been given a prophecy that I have to come here and become a maiden of the spear, otherwise all my people will perish or some such thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, sounds reasonable. Enough. Because we're the Aiel and we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
What you want to do. And also you're ginger, so it's fine.
Yeah. So we'll accept
So
it.
we will accept you.
If she was blonde, though, fuck that bitch.
I think she was ginger. Anyway, we the readers know this was actually Tigraine, or Tigraine, or however you say her name, Tiger Lady. Mm-hmm. And that she was given the prophecy by the Aes Sedai lady who also prophesied Rand's birth. That old bitch who...
Yeah, isn't like Gatara or something?
Katara
of the Southern Water.
Gitara, I don't know how to say her name.
She's a guitar.
She's a guitar.
A good guitar.
Gitara. Anyway. I'm so fucking over it. What's wrong with me?
But she also drops that she left a baby behind. And Rand's
yeah.
like, oh shit, I have a half-brother. And all
Yeah.
of us are like, oh fuck, that's Glad.
Yeah.
And he's sexy, and you are not, so...
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Short
Glad got all
stay.
the sexy
I guess
genes.
he got all the sexy Kyrianan genes.
Yeah, from his mean dad.
Yeah.
Who Tigraine did not like. They're like, yeah, she left a child behind. She really regrets that. But she did not regret leaving her loser husband behind. Which also endeared her to us.
Yeah.
We were kind of like, cool. Iconic.
Fuck husbands.
Fuck husband.
Sorry about your baby, though.
Sorry about your baby, though.
We're glad who just got abandoned by his mom, so she
I know, it
could
actually
become
is
a
really
desert
sad.
witch.
So she could become a Dune knockoff.
Yeah, it's super sad. Glad.
Galad could be such an interesting character, but Robert Jordan's never like, I'm not going to go into his trauma about being abandoned as a child. I'm just going to talk about how he wants to be a religious extremist. Because for some reason that makes sense. I don't fucking know.
Rip.
Also, like, how messed up would you be if you were the sexiest person alive? Like, don't you think it would kind of fuck you up?
Yeah.
Because everyone's, like, constantly like, I can't even talk around you.
Yeah. either give you, like, the weirdest ego or, like, the most self-conscious.
Yeah, or you'd just be like, wow, my entire worth is in my looks.
My beauty.
And you'd be really fucked up by that.
Oh, he's also a good sword finder, lest we forget.
Yeah, it's just that Galad's entire body is perfect and beautiful and does everything correctly. So yeah, you'd be like, oh, dang.
Nobody cares about my heart.
I think Galad loses, like, an arm in the last battle or something. I can't remember, but of course it's the last battle, so we don't get to see any of the actual repercussions of that. But it kind of, like, mirrors the fact that Rand loses an arm, I guess.
A hand.
Which I guess makes up for the fact that they never interact on screen.
And then we're like, you get it, they're brothers. They both lost an appendage.
I know, it is buckwild. I'm just realizing now that they're like, oh, and you have a half-brother, and then never mention it again.
Yeah, and Rand's like, I don't fucking give a shit.
And Rand, I think, at some point is like, oh, Galad's my half-brother, and then does nothing to try and create a relationship with him.
It's kind of sad if he's like, oh, Galad's no.
He's like, oh, I don't know.
We're just gonna dodge that bullet.
I mean, I guess it would be kind of weird if you were like, you're my brother, and I'm dating your sister.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's so bad. It's all around just super
then your
terrible.
other brother is dating the woman I thought I was gonna marry in
it's like
baby school.
It's like the most fucked up Brady Bunch of all time. Oh, God.
This is a story about a man named Brady.
A man named Kaywin. Who was super ugly
Shitty.
and the worst. Anyway, they're like, yeah, so Shale, she never gave a different name, was eventually adopted. She had to work her butt off to become a maiden because, you know, she was a rich blue blood type. They're like, she could shoot an arrow, though. She had one redeeming quality. Good. That and she was ginger.
Yeah.
So after enough training, she fit right in.
Yeah.
But they're like, but then the whole war broke out, so we went over the Dragon Wall, and a few years into that, when we went to Tarvalon, she went missing. And she had been sleeping with the, like, clan chief, whose name, Rand's dad's name, already escapes me because he's fucking irrelevant. Like,
I don't know.
And then they report it's like Janduin or something.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yonduin,
maybe.
Yonduin.
Yonduin.
Yonduin, okay.
Like Jakob.
Okay, now let's call him that. Anyway, Yonduin then goes into a depressive period and is like, I can't live without Shale, I guess, so he decides to go to just abandon the clan. He's like, I will no longer be clan chief, and everyone's like, you can't fucking do that, and he's like, watch me. And leaves.
The fucking drama just runs in Rand's blood, I guess.
I know. And then he leaves and goes up north to, like, fight the Dark One, which is what boys who can channel in amongst the Aiel are told to do, is just go fight Trollocs till they die. But then it's reported that he was actually killed by a man who looked like Shale, which I guess is Lord Luke. So again, that becomes confusing because Lord Luke / Esau is like Perrin's nemesis.
Yeah.
And it's never relevant that, like, he actually killed Rand's biological father. I mean, I guess it isn't, in a way, that's sort of refreshing.
Yeah.
Like, Rand's not like, I must kill the man who killed my father. He's like, fuck that guy. I mean, he contributed some sperm,
my real dad.
My real dad is Tam. So I don't know.
Fucking weird shit.
Anyway, they tell Rand this story, and he's kind of like, okay, processing. And they're all like, comfort, comfort, comfort. And he's like, I don't want comfort. I want you all to just be Matt, who's ignoring me currently. He's like, I'm not upset at all, but for some reason I don't have an appetite. So then he goes outside to watch, to see if Aviend and Moiraine come back. And then Matt comes and sits with him. And eventually Avienda does come back, and Rand's like, his little internal monologue is like, oh, I've always liked Avienda. I like that she dislikes me for extremely human reasons, which is that she's friends with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And just thinks I'm shitty.
Mm-hmm.
But then Avienda, like, sees him and her Kill Bill sirens go off and is like, and he's like, oh. Well, if she went to Rhuidean, then she probably saw what I saw, and now knows I'm responsible, which actually we either remember or are reminded that the women see something different on their first go. They, like, go through the rings to see their futures. So what she actually saw was that she'd fall in love with Rand. And you have to admire the fact that she's, like... furious about it.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, I hate him.
How iconic would it have been if she just, like, threw a knife at him?
Yeah.
The first thing she saw.
It'd be so good.
She's like, fuck my fate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill this fucker.
That'd been so good.
God, alas. The story that could have been.
There are so many opportunities for Rand to just kick the bucket in hilarious ways.
I know, just, like, super early on.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have been funny if it was in the first book, but, like,
Fourth
book,
hilarious.
So funny.
Peak comedy of Aviendha was just like, I'm not marrying this asshole, and it was just like knife to the
This would actually be a very good book if the, like, chosen one got killed off, and then his whole, like, fellowship / coterie had to fucking con everyone into thinking he was still alive.
Yeah.
Had to do, like, a weekend at Bernie's to save the world.
Yeah.
God, it would be so fucking good.
Why don't we write?
I know, why
wasn't
I put in charge of the Wheel of Time? Yeah, Rand would die in this scene if I was writing.
So good.
But she comes back, and Matt's like, oh, I'd watch your back around that lady. And Rand's like, yeah, Matt, I'm not fucking stupid. And Matt's like, historically, yes, you are. And then Bear comes out and fucking pitches a loaf of bread at Rand's head, and Matt snatches it out of the air.
Iconic.
Like, starts eating it.
That was very sensual miming
you.
of bread eating that you just did.
Because I love bread. Nothing
love
sexier than bread.
My nephew got to eat a croissant for the first time yesterday, and he was like going apeshit. He was so excited. He tried to like shove that whole thing in his tiny little 1-year-old mouth, and everyone was like, Declan, a relatable sentiment, but you cannot do that.
He was like,
will choke.
I've got to down the whole fucking croissant.
It's like, if I don't, I'll die.
It is mine! She's mine!
It was very funny. It's like, this is such a big mood. Declan was serving moods all Thanksgiving.
An icon.
I know, I love him. Anyway, that's my nephew, and I'm obsessed with him. He's such a little demon.
Then Moiraine comes back, and she's, like, super tired, and Lan picks her up and carries her in, or whatever. And this is all happening on the same night, so Rand was all worried that he would lose 3 days. So he's excited that they're both back on the same night that he is, so it's like, oh, we can just pack up and go. He talked to Ruark and was like, how can I get all of the clan chiefs in, like, one place? And Ruark would, like, have the wise ones, like, dream them some creepy RSVP messages. RSVP in your dreams.
Post.
Yeah, paperless post. Will you be attending this very important meeting?
Will you be attending the breaking of the Aiel?
Yeah.
Yes, no.
So they're going to this place. Will you be attending the breaking of the Aiel? So they're like, please come to this place. It's called Alcardal or something. And Matt's like, yes, the Golden Bowl. And Rand's like, Matt has become the Duolingo Owl. What happened? Matt's like, I have learned a new language, but I'm going to remain completely oblivious of that fact for another book or two. Which I don't know how that happens.
I know, it's so funny.
It's like bad fan fiction when, you know, someone is trying to write a bilingual character, but is monolingual themselves, and they're like, oh, sorry, I forgot to switch to
speak to my other language.
Speak my other language. Language is a conscious choice, y'all. So dumb.
Unless you're as stupid as Matt Cathan, I guess.
Well, yeah. Easier to believe with him. And then there's, like, fun about this canyon is that it's got some cool, like, sonic, like, you can, it's like an echo chamber. You can just stand in one place, and it's like how...
If you whisper into the corner of that one cathedral, it'll, like, go up the dome, and you can hear
everyone can hear him, which I guess is kind of cool, but also a little inconvenient, because what if they're there and Rand's like, should I tell them that Should I tell them that I'm the car?
And everyone's like, what?
Yeet! Kill him! God, that would actually be when he dies.
I wish we could keep killing Rand over and over again.
That would be like a Groundhog's Day style. Just murder him. And every day he wakes up.
Like, what the
has to get through that day without dying. Same way. It would explain why he survived this far. If he's just like on a video game despawning run. Anyway, Next chapter, we switch over to Edwin's Egg's point of view as she meets with Elaine and Teleron Riyadh, which she explicitly promised the Wise Ones she would not do. But this is Edwin, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, what's going on? And Elaine's like, I'm trying out the sea folk shirtlessness thing. And Egg's like, okay, how is it? And Elaine's like, breezy. And Egg's like, copy that. Egg's like, guess what? Some of the Wise Ones can channel. And it's like, super weird. And Elaine's like, oh, yeah, some of the Windfinders can channel. And then she immediately is like, I did promise that I would not tell another living soul about that. Whoops.
She's the worst.
She's the fucking worst. She's like, I guess it doesn't matter if I just tell you. And Egg's like, I'm going to be the Amber Lindsay in 2 books. And then I am going to use this. It will definitely matter. The Egg's like, it's very interesting that there are women out there who don't have to be bound by the 3 oaths, but are still incredibly respected in their communities and honored way more than Aes Sedai are. And it's like, yeah, it's almost like if you don't, like,
manipulate and murder people,
then
maybe people
you'll
like you
earn their
more.
respect. I don't know.
It's kind of a weird.
Maybe if you don't build a fucking giant tower and just like creep people out,
a literal ivory tower.
Maybe if you try to be part of communities rather than
again sitting in your literal ivory
tower.
God. With your dumb libraries and going around committing, eugenics
War
against men who can channel.
And Egg's like, it makes no sense.
It's simply incorrigible.
What the hell? Anyway, then Mace literally yanks Egg out of Teleron Riyadh and freaks her out with like a little nightmare thing.
Yeah.
And then brings her back and Egg's like, ah! And Mace is like, what did I fucking tell you?
Yeah.
And Egg's like, I know, but it's like not a big deal. And also I'm an Aes Sedai. And Mace is like, no, you're not. I'm not fucking stupid. Mace is like, yeah, okay, I get it, but I did also tell you to do something and you agreed to do this, so you gotta start wearing your hair in 2 braids because you're acting like a child. And Egg is like, fine. I won't do that again. But she will. Reader.
Consistently.
She'll just get better
over and
hiding
over
it.
again. For all of time.
But Mace wakes her up and is like, hey, we're gonna go chill in our naked lady time. Our favorite group bonding activity, just hanging around naked, sweating. And it's like, sounds super sexy. So they go to the sweat tent and everyone's like, well, we obviously need to manipulate Rand. And all the other women are like, yes, of course.
So annoying.
And it's like, you're all the worst. Everyone is the worst. And they're like, Egg, could you do it? And she's like, probably not. Rand isn't really as naive and trusting as he used to be. And pointedly avoids looking at Moiraine. But is like, because Moiraine lied to him for fucking months.
Yeah.
And they're like, so Moiraine, would you? And Moiraine's like, no, he fucking hates me. And they're like, okay, plan C. Avienda. Super sexy. Great tits. Could just hang out with Rand and tell him what to do. And Avienda's like, I do not want to do that. And they're like, well, you're going to do it anyway. And Avienda's like, fine, but I will do the shittest job possible. Which is literally what she then does for the next 2 books.
It's so good.
It's kind of incredible, but it's also a little bit annoying because it would be nice if Avienda just, like, told Rand.
No, it's like, funny in like a Avienda is hilarious sort of way.
You're like, Avienda, you absolute queen, but I do also want Rand to have the knowledge.
Yeah, it's
so
like
he's not
frustrating in the plot sense where you're like, Robert Jordan just invents these convoluted ways for Rand to have no idea what the fuck is going on at any given moment.
It is the most annoying thing. If you, like, have to keep your protagonist in the dark about things, if you have to, like, eke out the information that they gather in really convoluted ways, then that's not good writing. Like, you should be able to have a suspenseful and interesting plot without... This is exactly why I hate The Maze Runner, by the way, that book.
Maze Runner is the worst book.
Yeah, The Maze Runner does that so much. People are just like, I will refuse to answer your questions. And they're like, why? And they're like, because the author told me to.
Because I'm simply a puppet for this bad
Because
story.
I'm a puppet for this terrible plot. Whatever.
Annoying.
I want to watch that movie again. It's super good.
Only because Dylan O'Brien is in it.
Lots of hot boys are in it.
That's true. Right. Lots of hot boys are in it.
Anyway, so they're like, Avienda, go watch Rand. And she's like, fine, I will. And they're like, okay, meeting adjourned, ladies. And Egg to Moiraine is like, so what happened in Rhuidean? And Moiraine says some cryptic shit like she always does. But basically she's like, I found out I'm gonna die. And Egg is like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
End scene. And that's those 2 chapters.
That was a great summary.
Thanks.
I'm sorry I didn't read them again.
That's fine. I kind of forced you to record right away. Could have read them. Yeah, sorry that was more summary than any actual analysis. But again, lots of plot, not a lot of things to say about it. We could probably have talked a little more about the revealing of Rand's parentage, but that's like such trope material.
Yeah.
That it's like, I feel like there's nothing else I can contribute to that. Everyone's sick of it.
Yeah.
No one is like, God, you know what I love? When the protagonist finds out who his long-lost parents are.
Mm-hmm.
That's why half the world was like, no, I don't fucking want Rey to be related to the Skywalkers.
Mm-hmm.
I just want her to be a rando.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
If Luke has a illegitimate love child or something. So anyway. Do you have anything else to say?
About the chapters?
Or anything?
Yes. As of yesterday, in this timeline where we're now speaking, Emily and I are officially on vacation, which means we are out of the office until Friday or Saturday, depending on how things go.
Yeah.
So we won't be responding to any messages on social media or any emails or anything because we will not have Wi-Fi. But remember that we love you and that you have still about 2 weeks to submit your sticker designs for our merchandise.
Woo.
If you haven't seen that on social media, we are asking all of the wonderful artists in our community to design an EHR sticker that is not Wheel of Time related because we want to avoid copyright issues. So things that are EHR related, but not Wheel of Time related. Like we got some great Tybalt stickers. We got a submission of covert sexism juice, which I love.
Oh my god, I really love that.
So funny.
Yeah, if you need inspiration, just go through the episode titles. There's some pretty fucking good ones.
But all the details for that is on our website, but really the gist of it is just send your sticker in an image format to us at everybodyhatesrand@gmail.com, and please include your name in the email somewhere just so we can keep track of it.
Yes.
Thank you as always to Glenna Mackenzie for the use of our theme song, not titled Tub Thumping.
As of yet.
And thank you to everybody who has supported the podcast in any way that you do, whether that's monetarily through Patreon or donations or buying us a coffee on that site I can't pronounce, or just tweeting about the podcast, messaging us. Kofi.
Who knows?
Kofi.
Kofi.
Yeah, or just messaging us, leaving us reviews on iTunes, telling your friends and family, anything that you do to support the podcast, we really, really appreciate.
Yes.
And we love you.
Yes. Do you have a sign-off?
Just has anything bad happened to you? Bad things happen to me all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just because I live in a farce.
Oh, okay.
My life is so stupid.
I
don't.
Well, I do have one.
Okay, go ahead.
So I got an email a couple weeks ago at work that was like, are you going to be coming to the company Thanksgiving lunch? It will be at this scary Chinese buffet in Orem. And I was like, oh, I do not want to go to this because there's nothing in me that wants to go to any type of buffet. Also, I'm about to be on a cruise with all of these people eating the same level of food. Yeah. So none of that sounds interesting to me. But I kind of waited a couple days to see if anyone would, bring it up and be like, yeah, come to this meeting. It's super important. Come to this, party. It's super important. But no one did, so I just responded, no, I will not be coming. And again, no one, came to me and was like, why aren't you coming to the dang Thanksgiving thing? So that day comes around, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess everyone's going to lunch. But I was on the phone with the bank to make sure they didn't cancel my credit card while I was out of the country. which took like a really fucking long time. They were like, what was your dad's job when you got this?
What?
They
I think
asked
you
a
literally
lot of
just go
identifying
online
questions.
and can just beep, beep, beep.
I don't know how to do it online. Maybe there's a way, but also I have a really small...
Yeah,
really
you
small
do.
bank.
Mine's a bigger bank, so.
Anyway. And my one coworker who I share an office with, I was like, are you going to the party? And she never checks her emails or does any sort of thing. She was like, yeah, I guess I will. And like 11:30 rolls around at the time when it's supposed to start. And I was like, are you going? And she's like, yeah, I'll head out. And I was like, okay. Then she leaves and comes back 5 minutes later and is like, no one's in the building. And I'm like, what building? And she's like, the other building. And I'm like, the lunch isn't at the building. It's at this buffet. And she's like, oh, well, I don't want to go to that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go to that either. That's why I was a little surprised. I don't know why anyone wants to go to that.
Yeah.
But she's like, okay, well, I don't feel great, so I'm going to go home. So she leaves. Then, like, half an hour passes, and I get suddenly all these instant messages that are like, why aren't you guys here? And I'm like, I didn't really know it was a thing we had to go to. No one really told us. They're like, yeah, you should be here. So then I had to go to this.
Oh, no! I didn't know that!
In the car and go to the dang buffet. Luckily, I didn't have to eat anything. Everyone was done reading. They were just having a PowerPoint presentation about our accomplishments of the year.
Why did you have to go to that?
I don't know! I still don't know! But I found my friend and I was like, I didn't really know this was like an obligatory thing. And she's like, yeah, my bad. I should have communicated that better. But that was super awkward because then I walked in super late and everyone was like, oh, what's this dingus? And everyone's like, where's your coworker? And I'm like, she went home sick because she's smart, I guess. I should have also gone home sick. Smelling this place makes me sick. Anyway, that's what happens when you're literally in an office by yourself seeing no other person 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So fucking bad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Then they were like, we're giving out bonuses and also some packets of chili. And I was like, is this an inside joke from past years? And someone was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't get it, though. Why am I here?
Did you get a bonus, though?
I wasn't supposed to get a bonus. They gave me one, and I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to give this back. I still don't know what to do with it. And I just have it in my room. And I'm like, I'm not telling you on the air.
You can delete it.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the day before Thanksgiving break.
I did not know that happened.
Yeah, I didn't really see you.
Yeah, this week has sucked full ass.
Yeah.
O'clock.com.
So anyway, that was the day before Thanksgiving, and that's us. And now we're going on a cruise with these same people who could not communicate to me.
I cannot wait to conduct like an anthropological study of
Oh yeah, they're
your
wild.
coworkers. And the other day, Emily was like, if we went on a cruise with your coworkers, and I was like, don't even speak that into existence.
I was like, I'd murder most of them, so.
Yeah, but it would also be super fun, because then we'd be on a cruise with Kevin and Julie, which would be lit.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for listening. We will talk to you. Be back online in about a week. We will not be dropping an episode next week, just because we won't have time to record one. Mm-hmm. And we kind of need a vacay, obviously. But we will definitely be back on social media.
Correct.
And then back to the normal schedule after that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Don't do war crimes.
Don't do them.
Bye.
They're bad.